today's video, we're going to share some ways where you can earn some free Bitcoin, some free sats, or at least risk-free ways to earn sats. I mean, we've had historically amazing ways to earn sats. As price has gone up, it's become a little bit more difficult, but then also there's other new ways of new people and new products that want to reward you with Bitcoin. And it's kind of that perfect thing to reward somebody with, because it's divisible to such a small amount. So there's ways to just acquire like a few sats here and there. And these are things that you can do in your spare time, or you can change a little bit of your habits or acquire one of these products that rewards you in Bitcoin. So we're going to go through all of them that we can think of. But first, Rajat, if you wanted to throw up the Bitcoin faucet as a historical example, I think that people could look at some of these other examples that we're going to share as crazy as we look at the Bitcoin faucet, which is something that one of the lead developers of Bitcoin, Gavin Andreessen, set up with, I think he funded it with like 20,000 Bitcoin at one time.
Wow.
And all you had to do was complete a CAPTCHA, and you would be rewarded 5 Bitcoin, which is insane. You were given 5 Bitcoin absolutely free for just verifying that you are a human and not a robot and not a bot, basically.
Was it something like this?
I
can't
sent
find
you
the actual faucet.
I sent.
I don't think it's still available or not. It might be.
No, it's not actually available anymore. I sent the Reddit link. Did you?
There, I found it.
Okay. All right. So we'll just cut that a little bit out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. So I found it. So you just put in your CAPTCHA, you put in your Bitcoin address, and it sends you Bitcoin. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was it? 5 Bitcoin per?
5 Bitcoin per visit.
5 Bitcoin per visitor, and then there's 750 Bitcoin available. Wow.
Yeah. And they ran out of Bitcoin, but this was an initiative to get people on to Bitcoin, to hold Bitcoin, to understand Bitcoin. Like, you'd have to set up a wallet for this to send it to you. You'd have to begin to understand what this thing is, maybe start to give it some value. I don't think it even had value at that point. Like, it didn't have like a USD balance to it, I don't think, at any point during this. But now it's not free Bitcoin that we can get, it's free sats, which is there's 100 million sats per Bitcoin. So you would get from solving that, you would get what, 500 million sats.
Yep.
So now we can only get a few sats here and there, but we're going to go over some ways to do that. If you guys want to start, and I'll jump in with a few ways that I've found to earn some free sats.
Sure. I think it's, when people hear that, I think that's just the story of Bitcoin right now. Everybody has a Bitcoin story where they're like, where they first heard about it, they originally wrote Bitcoin off. Now they have regrets. I think it's the same kind of thing happening right now in terms of like, yes, 10 years ago, whenever it was, 15 years ago, you could log into a website, you'd have to do anything, 5 Bitcoin. Most people lost that or did something stupid with it anyway, so don't feel bad that you missed out. But I think in 10 or 15 years from now, we're going to look back on this exact same thing where you say, I can't believe that I got paid 100 sats to listen to a podcast, or I can't believe I got 10 sats for shaking my phone, or whatever it may be. The only thing different now is time. We're going to look back. It's the exact same incentive structure. They're trying to get people into Bitcoin. This time is a little bit different though, because they're actually collecting some data on you. That's kind of the trade-off there. They're either selling you ads, making you watch a video, or they're taking some data from you, but it's the same kind of thing. So kind of the message we want to portray today is, instead of having to go through the whole KYC aspect, or, take some of the money that you may or may not have and put it into Bitcoin, this is a really risk-free way of doing it, where you can still accumulate some sats without having to jump through too many hoops, or put a stress on your life, financial stress on your life. We just want people to start earning some sats and hold on to it for a while. So I think that the one that I want to start with here is an app called Ember. And we'll have all these links below. We might not get through all the ones we want to talk about today. We'll talk about a few, but all the referral links for the ways to earn free Bitcoin will be in the show notes. So Ember is something I just recently started doing. You get a couple Basically how it works is you open up the app, you press start earning Bitcoin, and then it just starts like mining Bitcoin, essentially they call it, just like you would be when you're actually mining. But all you have to do is press a button in this point. So you share the link with a few friends. The more you share it with friends, family, the more sats per hour you get. The only trick to it, though, is that when you earn these sats, they're called bonus sats. So let's say I earned 100 sats per hour today. What is that? 2,400 sats today. Those would go into my bonus sats. And you actually have to gamble with them. So you could play like Plinko, you could play blackjack, you could play these different games within the app. And once you gamble with those sats, they become withdrawable. So there are a couple different hoops that you have to jump through to actually withdraw this. But I mean, I've had it for about a month and I think I have about 30,000 sats already from it. So it's definitely worth the time. It's a little bit more commitment. I'll share a couple tips on these things at the end, but consistency is the key. Turn it on every day. Just press a button and it will accumulate over time. And you have to do a little bit of gambling with it, but definitely worth it, in my opinion. So that's the first one. It's called Ember. And we'll have a referral link down in the show notes for people to try out on their own.
The next one that I think is pretty great is ShakePay. It's only available for Canadians, of course. Pretty simple. You set up a buy every single day or every week, whatever it is. You can do a $1 buy. At one point, what I had set up a $1 weekly buy, and then I would shake my phone every single day, and I'd get like $7 worth of Bitcoin every single week. So I bought $1 worth of Bitcoin, I got $7 worth for free. And over time, I mean, you can stack pretty quickly. There's also another one called Fountain, where if you listen to podcasts, you can get some Satoshis. The only issue with ShakePay, so I stopped using ShakePay more recently, is that they make you use their debit card. And I just don't like being told what to do, so I stopped using it. But otherwise, I mean, I would have kept going.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to the mobile games here, which is just a thing that you should think of. Like if you already play mobile games, I wouldn't jump into mobile games if you don't, because they are a waste of time. But if you're already wasting time for whatever reason, then maybe think about a game that pays you, and they pay you in sats, where a lot of these like play to earn games, they'll pay you in some like tokens or whatever, but then it's like you have to play them for like years before it becomes even redeemable. But these ones aren't like that. So one that I would recommend is, well, any of the games by Thunder Games, and they have this one here, which is an old school snake kind of game, and there's ads. Okay, so let me tell you guys about a trick to this. All these mobile games, they make money from ads, but if you just exit out of the ad and restart the program, you don't have to watch the ad. So don't watch the ads. Don't spend your time watching ads. You can earn sats. You win tickets in this, and then there's a draw every single hour, and you could win up to like 500-600 sats from that. But usually you win a couple sats. So if you play a couple games or whatever, you'll get enough tickets to probably win some sats as prizes. The other mobile game that I'll tie in here is one by ZBD, which is actually a Lightning wallet, and they have rewards and different ways of earning, but one of them is called Bitcoin Miner, and they have a reward system that if you just open up the app every single day, you'll get sats, and it builds up to a max of 50 sats a day. But if you just open up, click that, you'll get 50 sats. So you could just do that. You don't even have to play the game, but in the game itself, there are ways to earn sats as well, and you can redeem them to your ZBD wallet.
So I'll piggyback off a couple different things there. This is, I do this quite a bit. I've got a lot of apps where I earn free sats on, just because why not? It's the compound effect within Bitcoin. Even if it's 5 sats per day, but if you do it over a long enough time frame, it's going to add up to something significant, I think. So with the ShakePay, the thing that Rajat was talking about there, you can actually hook up with a prepaid Visa within ShakePay. I use it for everything. I know Rajat doesn't like being told what to do, but I feel like they're collecting my data either way, whether it's through MasterCard, Visa, wherever, it's all going to the same people. So you get sats back. So with our golf company, King Golf, I buy all of our hats, all of our hoodies using my ShakePay. And it stings a little bit less when you get like 20,000 sats back on your credit card payment there. So it's worth doing. Plus you get the Shake thing. ZBD as well. I log in there every day. You can actually do a poll within the app. It's like, you don't have to get the right answer. You basically just open up the poll, you pick your best answer, and you get like between 5 and 50 sats just for doing that every 24 hours. And then Thunder, what Forrest was talking about there, I think it's T D whatever it is, NDR. I don't know what it is. Thunder.
THNDR.
Yeah.
No vowels.
They also have solitaire. So I used to play solitaire, same kind of thing. You play, if you win, you get tickets into the draw every hour, and then you get sats paid out based off of that. So my piece of advice with this for people would be, because it's something where they just want you using their app. That's what they want. That's what they incentivize, is you opening up your app every day. So I set about a timer every day. I spend about 5 or 10 minutes just going through all my different Bitcoin apps, and then it's done. You don't miss your streak. You don't have to waste time thinking about it or a whole bunch of time throughout the day. It's just 5 or 10 minutes, same time every day. Compound it.
Yeah. And over time, it just adds up, right? It's just going to keep adding up. The next one that I like is called Smiles, where you walk and you get some Satoshis. That one's been a little annoying for me because they need a certain amount of Satoshis before you can withdraw. And you get a very small amount of Satoshis every day. So let's say, for example, you'll get 10, 15 Satoshis a day. You have to wait until you get to 1,000 Satoshis. So you can't really withdraw for 40, 50, 60 days. And again, I don't know if people are willing to deal with that. I personally don't really like it that much anymore. I would rather spend, like, I think it's not even about the time that's spent on operating the app. It's more about the fact that you have to be thinking about it. And I feel like as soon as I stopped, keep in mind, not everybody is in the same boat. I know you guys are okay with it. I personally don't. As soon as I stopped shaking my phone at 12 a.m. every day, I feel like it kind of lifted a weight off my back. It just felt like, okay, I can go to sleep whenever I want to. I don't have to worry about my alarm going off at 12 a.m. So I have to shake my phone. I know I don't have to do that, but it's just, when you lose the streak, it's really annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. It's 9 p.m. for me at the streak
9
repeat.
PM, yeah.
Because I'm in BC, so it's not too bad. But yeah, no, I understand that. The other thing I would say about ShakePay, and there's other equivalents to it depending on where you are, but they also have, if you hold a cash balance in there that you use with that Visa, they actually reward you up to 3.75%, and they pay that in sats right away. If you don't get direct deposit, it's 2.25%. And I know River also has a system like that as well in the States, where they, for your cash balance, they'll pay you in sats, like a savings account. And then I don't have personal experience with this, but the COLDCARD is an additional thing that people use. It's only available in the States, I believe. And they basically split the profits they get as a merchant, and they split that with you. So they take some of the money that they earn by facilitating a transaction, and you earn half of it in the form of sats. So just by spending money on what you would normally spend on, you're able to earn additional free sats, basically free sats.
Yeah, I think that we probably have a lot of people from the US who watch this channel, so we'll get a Fold app from one of our American friends and throw it down there too. In case you are watching this in the US, we'll have something down there for you, and maybe River as well, because that's if we had something similar to that in Canada, I think I'd be very tempted to do that. I prefer to just buy Bitcoin and let it ride, but there's a lot of people who want a little bit more stability in their life in terms of the US dollar there. The other thing I would say here, this is not more risky, but it takes more effort. We just did a show recently about value for value, and I think that the one thing I wanted to mention here was using Nostr. There's a couple different apps that you can use on Nostr. I would suggest going to nostr.com and then look in the different applications that you can use Nostr with. But all I would say is just like go on there, create an account, start adding value, whatever that looks like to you, whether it's memes, jokes, shit posting as it's called. You can actually, depending on what you're focused on and interested in life, you can just share your thoughts on that. And you never know. So if somebody gets value from it, if somebody enjoyed it, they can easily send you some sats, just like we're doing kind of with this QR code for people. We throw it up there. If anybody learns anything or has a laugh or whatever, they can send some value to us in the form of sats. So I would encourage people, even though it is a little bit more effort, is just to try that out. It's not something you get on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. If somebody likes your post, they can just click the like button. But on Nostr, they can actually send you Bitcoin instantly, any amount. So I just wanted to throw that in there because again, it is a little bit more work, but it's longer term. And I think, you know, more beneficial for the world than just playing games.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things though that Bitcoin helps with, right? No matter what your skill is, there's a guy on Twitter who's regularly posting memes, and he's making like he only started posting maybe 3 months ago, and he's already monetized. He's making right now he's making $20 every 2-3 weeks or every 2 weeks. Eventually, it'll go to 40. It'll go to 80, 100, 200, 500. It'll keep going up because he's really good at what he does. But that's the thing. You have to put in the effort at first for certain things. The way that I do it, I mean, I post on Twitter. I get paid for my post on Twitter. Over time, it builds. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a bit of time, but if you put in the effort, if you keep going, I think it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth it. I would personally prefer more posting on Twitter and Nostr over trying to find apps that give me free Bitcoin. Like those games are great. I mean, perfectly fine if people want to. Everybody just has a different way of doing it. I would love to build something on Nostr, build something on Twitter that pays me for the long term. No matter when I want to post, I can just post randomly, and I'll basically get paid for the engagement that I get.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about Nostr too, is that you don't have to, you know, wait for a certain balance to build up. You don't have to put in your information. There's a couple different reasons why I like Nostr over Twitter, but Rajat has he's put in the time, he's put in the work to grow his audience there. And so even if he decided that he wanted to share some things on Twitter, some things on Nostr, and kind of get the best of both worlds. But with Nostr, it's nice because they can just send sats without any credit card information or any other the BS that comes on with the legacy system there. So any final thoughts, boys, on this?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we'll be sure to put everything that we talked about below, probably even some more in the show notes. A lot of these apps actually, if you use somebody's referral code, not only do you get some sort of a bonus or a kickback, but it also unlocks certain features that that you don't get just by signing up on your own. So we'll have a few of each of ours in the show notes, and then you guys and girls can just kind of have a heyday. But the thing is, take a long-term lens. You're not going to get rich overnight by playing solitaire or snake games, but just compound this stuff and just see where it leads to. I think 10 years looking back, you'll be very happy that you did.
Yeah, that compounding effect is key. Give it some time, and over time it'll pay you back.
Yes. Okay. So once again, there's a QR code there just in case you want to send some value our way. We're trying not to, the Bitcoin logo right there too. We're trying not to have any sponsors on the show. We'll see how long that lasts. But in the meantime, if you want to keep that going for us, you can support the show and the channel this way. So thanks, boys. Another good episode. Very beneficial to people.
Awesome.